Hello everyone, I am Zhilong from Jinghua University. On behalf of all authors, I am here to introduce our work, a mixed methods analysis of the algorithm-mediated labor of online food deliverers in China. The past few years have witnessed the proliferation of the gig economy in general and online food delivery platforms specifically in China. For example, on Meituan, one of the duopoly of the online food delivery industry in China, more than 10 billion deals were completed in 2020, which contributed to a yearly transaction volume of more than 488 billion yuan. This success could not have been made possible without the labor of online food deliverers, who are responsible for dispatching the food prepared by merchants to the corresponding customers. This labor is vastly complex and intriguing through the lens of CSCW and social computing in two ways. It involves frequent interactions, not only with the mediation of algorithms, but also with multiple direct stakeholders. Given the growing essence of the labor of online food deliverers in the Chinese society and the increasing social impact it has been bringing upon, it is of great importance to understand online food deliverers' labor in China. Therefore, in our work, we seek to explore the following research questions. How is labor like for online food deliverers, and what factors are associated with their labor? How do algorithms mediate the labor of online food deliverers? How do online food deliverers perceive their relationships with related stakeholders, and how are they shaped by the mediation of algorithms? To answer them, we conduct a mixed methods analysis with the combination of a large-scale data-driven study and an in-depth interview study to ensure both the generalizability and depth of our findings. We find that, in terms of the overall working activities of Chinese online food deliverers, their labor is highly time-dependent. A relatively larger proportion of orders are completed on weekends, and their labor concentrates around lunch and dinner time. Both specialized and crowdsourced deliverers constitute essential shares of this labor. A larger proportion of deliverers are crowdsourced, while more orders are completed by specialized deliverers. We further probe into the amount of work they complete per day per person. In terms of daily orders, the median number of orders that deliverers take per day is 15 to 20. Specialized deliverers share a larger median of 25 to 30 orders, while that drops to 5 to 10 for crowdsourced deliverers. What's more, the distribution of average daily delivery time per deliverer is flat and fat-tailed. This shows that deliverers have a large variance and thus flexibility over their labor in terms of how long they contribute to their labor. Similar circumstances are observed when the distances that deliverers travel are examined. Moreover, we studied the relationship between the delivery performance and labor of online food deliverers. As for average delivery time, we find that a moderate average delivery time is related to a larger number of daily orders. As for online rate, we find that larger overall on-time rates correlate with more orders for dispatches. To further unpack the nuances of online food deliverers' labor, we delve into the results of our in-depth qualitative study. An emerging theme that shapes deliverers' labor throughout the whole process and helps with a better understanding of deliverers' situated labor is the mediation of algorithms. We find that with algorithmic work assignment, deadline setting, information support, and rating and judgment system, deliverers' labor is scaffolded and supported with new possibilities. Yet brand new challenges are brought upon along the way. Specifically, the labor of online food deliverers highly relies on the algorithmic work assignment for order dispatches. According to our interviewees, the algorithmic work assignment is identified as a considerate. However, they still encounter undesirable assignments occasionally, where they use the official order transfer mechanism or self-developed tactics to avoid unwanted orders. For example, staying in a fixed area with numerous merchants or temporarily turning off the order assignment system. As for the algorithmic deadline setting, online food deliverers often try their best to keep to the deadline set by algorithms to maintain high on-time rates and to avoid negative reviews. Our interviewees appreciate the possibilities of the extension of time limits, but point out that there are still cases when further improvements are called upon. For example, when situated physical constraints are encountered, and when merchants prepare the food too slowly. In terms of the algorithmic information support, geographical information provided by the map system, navigation system, and route planning system is frequently mentioned. For example, the map system is praised for its function of localization, but sometimes the information may seem insufficient. The navigation system is helpful, especially when deliverers are novices or have a poor sense of direction, but its sense decays as deliverers grow familiar with the locations. The route planning system can help deliverers effectively arrange their deliveries and avoid timeouts, but it sometimes fails to consider some situated obstacles. The algorithmic rating and judgment system is also identified as a major approach for algorithms to mediate online food deliverers' labor. According to deliverers' folk theories, algorithms have innate ratings of their performances, where factors such as average delivery time and on-time rate will affect the number of orders that they receive. Moreover, the algorithmic judgment system is responsible for identifying the wrongdoers of negative reviews and determining fines. When deliverers are unsatisfied with the algorithmic judgments, they can turn to the appeal mechanism for rate determination. Furthermore, we dig into how online food deliverers perceive their relationships with related stakeholders, and how they are shaped by the mediation of algorithms. We find that their relationships with customers are simple and ad hoc serving. Many deliverers are responsible for an area, which makes the interactions more likely a short-term and one-time event. While deliverers' relationships with the merchants are symbiotic and mutually dependent, because they build upon each other's efforts and share a time limit together. Deliverers' relationships with the platform are organized but not controlled. The grassroots organizations of the platform, stations, lend deliverers a high degree of freedom and autonomy and are more often regarded as resources for help. While deliverers' relationships with other peer deliverers are like humanized colleagues or even brothers and sisters, because deliverers do not need to aggressively compete for orders and can have offline social interactions and conversations between busy periods. In sum, in our current work, we conduct a mixed methods analysis of the algorithm-mediated labor of online food deliverers in China. Combining large-scale data-driven analysis and in-depth interviews, we depict online food deliverers' overall working activities, illustrate how their labor is mediated by algorithms, and reflect their perceived relationships with related stakeholders. Should you be interested in how our work provides novel research and design implications, please feel free to check our paper. Thanks for listening.